Hello! Welcome to another art stream. And just turn on. Oh yeah, I was gonna do that. Oh. Like, what could my phone be doing right now? It's just telling me that I'm on. Good. Okay, let's get some music. Chill guitars. Guess we can do that for now until. Yeah. Okay. I'll be right back. I just need to get some water. And yeah. So I hope everyone had a wonderful week. I'd also get on my hoodie on because it's kind of cold. Okay. It seems another update came out for Coral Island, so I might share some of that tomorrow. Like tomorrow, if you know what, even if there isn't a big crowd, just might be kind of fun. I'll use it as like a break, where I'll play for a little bit in between, like just so I can draw for longer, maybe. Sorry, I'm just getting some stuff ready to draw. Okay. Hello. Hope you had a good day. It's been a nice. I'm happy that it wasn't a bad one to begin with. It was actually a pretty nice, quick day. So I can't complain. Right now I'm just doing some warm-ups for or session. We'll do some more practice drawing clothing today, and maybe come up with a few more characters, and also maybe work on some of the pages later on. So I would like to make some more progress. And I did say I was going to, like, do a, hello! Glad you can make it today. Yeah, like I said, we're just been, starting this month up pretty chill, just doing some exercises to sharpen my skills, especially since I spent last month mainly drawing the dinosaurs. So, and I've been posting them on my over on my Instagram. Actually, I still want to. There's a couple of them that I really like that I want to make time-lapse videos of. Like the Velociraptor one came out really good. And I'll definitely have to try and make a time-lapse for that. But yeah, I hope you had a nice week. Do you have any new project you're planning for this month? I'm gonna probably I have a couple. Like I want to finish up the VTuber and my first VTuber model, and try and get some pages of the comic online before the end of the year. And if I can't, we'll see how those go. But I mean, since it's my first VTuber, I'm not expecting it to come out 100% perfect, because I'm still learning a lot about like how to rig. Ooh. Ah, nice. Yeah. Seems like a good time for that. I was talking to someone earlier this week about that. Where they were reworking some old OCs. So. Let's see, do I have it still here? Here, I'll show you some of the things I've been working on. Where's that? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, I know where it is. Here it is. I was like, I know I have it somewhere here. So working on some new emotes, or like at least, and this is one of them. Let's see if I can get the where'd it go? Where'd it go? Gotta find the right switch. There it is. So yeah, I got still a little rough. I need to add a few more, maybe like 1 or 2 more frames into it. But I think it's coming along pretty good. I mean, it's just gonna be yeah, one of the emotes. So hopefully. Trying to find a good pose to reference. little time off, so I'm gonna try and make some progress on the comic and like try to figure out where the story arc is going next, because I've been in one spot in the story for a while now and I really want to move forward. Yeah, oh, you're telling me it was a record cold here as well. This seems like it's going to be... I think next week is supposed to be really cold too, so I hope you stay warm, because at least here it's going to get really rough, so just give yourself lots of time when if you have to drive anywhere. That's what I do. I always... This time of year I always wake up like maybe like a half hour earlier, or not half hour, but maybe like 15 minutes earlier at least. Just so I don't have to like rush in really bad driving conditions, because every time I see just like... Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Also, like, one thing that can help, but if you can find it on sale, like Under Armour or yeah, just like just lots of layers. that's what I do. But when it's this bad, I know that regardless, it's just rough. Now I think about it, today the roads weren't even that bad, thankfully. But we'll see how next week is. But because I was really worried when I saw how cold it was going to be. I have the... Just made sure to keep my hoodie on for most of the day. Stay warm. Do, 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 do. Yeah, sometimes it feels like I'm more adapting to driving around everyone else's driving habits when the weather changes than actually because getting used to the new weather is usually not the hardest part for me. Just getting used to how other people react to it. But thankfully it's been pretty good lately. Like, everyone seems to be pretty careful and giving each other a lot of time. So it's definitely made it a nicer experience than usual in the past. Although we'll see how that changes as we get closer to, like, the holidays. Well, thankfully, with so much like online shopping now, it's not as crazy this time of year as it used to be. Someone just reminded me that I usually watch like some seasonal movies around this time of year, and I've never seen Satoshi Kon's movie Tokyo Godfathers, so maybe I'll watch that this week. I keep telling myself I'd like to check it out, but I just always get sidetracked. And I really like Satoshi's other movies, so even if it's not gonna be my favorite, because I doubt it will be, it'd still be fun to give it a shot. I mean, it's like with Ghibli films where there's certain movies that never made it into my top five, my top five or anything, but they were still fun. Forget the name of that one. There was one where there's a couple really good ones that because Goro did do a few pretty decent movies before, like because the only one I didn't like from Goro was Tales of Earthsea, and that was not necessarily his fault. That was more just like, I heard that there was just some really bad like everything that could go wrong went wrong during the production, and like the story got very convoluted. So yeah, so it's hard to blame him completely when it's like the same thing happened during Black Cauldron when that was being made. So turn off the chat. There. Look for some unique clothing for these characters. Oh, here's something. This is kind of what I wanted. This is kind of what she wears normally, but the governess, her yeah, I think that's what I called her. One of her more like just everyday like clothing. Or maybe something she wears for a specific part of the story. Perhaps give her a big hat. Nah, that's too Dimitrescu. She always likes to keep her weapon nearby, no matter what. Trying a different haircut with her. Okay, Mark. Yeah. Yeah, have fun. Yeah, if you need to go, that's okay. I appreciate the time that you spent here. I mean, drawing in general should always. I mean, there's going to be moments where it's not fun, but the process itself should be fun. Like, so if you need a break for a second to like reinvigorate yourself, then go for it. I'd say. So I know plenty of people who pull their own hair out trying to make art perfect, and it's never gonna be. It's just not something where you just can excel. It's like playing an instrument. It's like you're never gonna be the best. So you might as well learn to like it. Oh, okay, good. do, 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 do. Yes, the governess is her normal name. What I used to usually just call her the matriarch, but like, yeah, she's just this character that was a big character in my original comic, and then not the main character, but she kind of was like someone that made all the story move along, and like all the main story points were around like them following her lead, kind of, because Cole is her advisor. She's kind of like my version, like the opposite of Lady Armstrong from a Lieutenant Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist, where she's the outsider, but she knows she is, so she gets people like Cole to help her out so that she can speak to the people correctly and not seem like a visiting or like a conqueror. She wants to come in and like help them because she was in an environment like that with conquerors before, so. And I might have her show up in this story arc because they might go through the town that she takes care of. But I haven't decided. I'm thinking I will, but. And like maybe she's just not the mayor. Maybe she's not in a high position yet in this story. And then if I ever do another story, she could be. also using this to kind of try and practice drawing some lace, because I don't usually draw that. So I know there's brushes for this and whatnot, but I only like to use something after I learn how to use it myself. Like, I don't like to just use something as a crutch. Kind of like with lightning. Like, I'll draw lightning like any day of the week before I try and like just use a brush that's lightning. Like, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take a lightning brush, and put it on top of. I'll draw mine first, and then, or I'll use it as a reference, kind of, and then I'll go kind of clean up and use my style on top of it, so it looks, so it fits a little more. Oops, I think I just... Yeah, that's fine. Phew, good. Nice. Okay, let's do a few more drawings like this, and then we'll work on excuse me. Yeah, right? For a rough, that looks pretty good, I think. Because definitely, like, I've had times where, like, I'm a little scared with some of the Dinovember ones to flip them. I might give yeah, I might give my half dragon character a really nice dress. I need to find a good one though. Something she'd like. Like this one. This looks kind of nice. This might work for, at least for a good, like a top that she'd like to wear. Because outside of the field clothing that she has to wear, she actually likes to dress up a lot more than Grace does. So. Poofy shoulders. Poof. Dun, 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 dun. Might have to fix. Definitely have to fix that. For her, I like to give her clothing that's really like lacy and loose, kind of, because that being since she manipulates water, so I think that like giving her clothing that same kind of feeling is really fun. My hand's a little messy. Should make something more, well, I guess where they are, it's not really necessary, so just making different clothing for her is nice. Because I was going to say that giving them some winter gear but might be kind of cool, but wouldn't really make sense for where they are, because where they are, it's quite warm, so they wouldn't really need it. Yeah, anyway. I can do one for, I'll draw June some nice gear now. Dun 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 dun. Let's give her own layer. Do 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 do. I want to give her a different kind of coat. So it doesn't just look like a copy of her dad's. Dun, 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 dun. She changed her look a little bit when she, for part of the story, just so that she doesn't stand out as much. You're giving her a nice warm looking coat. think there. I kind of had the angle a little bit off. Oh no, that's a shame. Let's try some. Oh, good. That's a relief. Yeah, I'm looking for. Let's get some other characters drawn up. Looking for something for Richard. He's kind of already kind of set for a winner. Like maybe a cape or something that would cover him as well, but here's some. Make some nice boots for June. Yeah, it's starting to get. Maybe that could be another thing I do today. Is just practice drawing them, like getting like their morning routine, like getting dressed and everything, and so I can practice drawing like their boots and everything. Because like hers are different from Richard's, obviously. And then those are different than what Grace would wear, because she's more of like wearing like mountain climbing and like mixed with like camo gear, so that you can observe the animals in the environment without being seen, but still be able to climb trees and all that. I'm glad I got rid of all the I mean, it has its place, but I'm glad I don't have the AI switched on, because sometimes that gives you clothing that really wouldn't work very well. Sometimes it can be fun for exaggerated poses, but typically I just use anime for that. Here's a pose for Richard. Not really a, actually more of a hiking pose than a. Like maybe he'll change his clothing too when they get to the new town, just so he does not get a look that people are used to. Maybe I'll get a different type of winter coat. But he'll never change the mustache. No matter what. I'll be right back. Let's just restroom quick. Let's see what pages I can work on. Maybe this one. I'll keep that as a maybe one. Sorry, one sec. Let's see. Oh, okay. Nice. Some of these pages just need to be outright redone, I think. That's the tough part. I can do this one though. This one's kind of like, this one looks good, pretty good. Yeah, this takes place right after their fight with the two bounty hunters. And Richard's a little concerned that June's taking this really hard on herself when he never really expected her to fight at all to begin with. So the fact that she could even hold her own slightly was pretty impressive. But he's going to offer her some training. I think she got nervous because she realizes how close she came to getting, that she feels like she was in the way, and that she's could have gotten really hurt there, or ended up hurting her father, because like she doesn't feel they're very coordinated yet. Ah, nice. Trying to think. I have one of the smallest ones, and it's in my closet, and I haven't plugged it in yet. It's plastic. When I was younger, I remember we used to go cut trees and do all that, and I'd water it every morning. But ooh, that sounds fun. Never thought to try that. I'll have to look online to see if the place that I have this one place that I've done printing through before, and I'll have to see if they can make ornaments. Because that would be pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of do that too. I need to like maybe tonight and tomorrow I'm gonna like just like sit down and like just do a mind map of the entire story that I know so far and make sure everything and like add in some new things to fix some problems and trying to clean up the story. That's a good idea. Or at least to think of it that way, because like so many well, my first comic I was too big. Like it was it was trying to be like a slice of life, but the the daily things that were going on in that town were just too crazy and over the top. So like this story just being about like a journey to a specific location is going to be a lot shorter, even that's not easy to write. It doesn't make it, but at least I know that it's got a destination in it. Yeah, and just remember that, like, I know I know this, but like elevator pitch, make sure that it's quick and easy. Like, and sometimes you can even have a version. I make multiple different versions of my elevator pitch. Like, I'll make one for people who I know watch movies, and then I'll make another one for people who make who are more into like fantasy or into like certain novels. I'll say it's more like this, just because telling everyone it's a fantasy story mixed with a natural disaster movie doesn't really work for everyone. Kind of like how it's going into talking about the different types of elves, and I avoid that altogether until like unless I'm certain someone knows what about like Seelie and Unseelie elves and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'll just leave that out. That's more background stuff anyway. The rift opening up is a bigger issue in my story than the fact that there are like Unseelie elves that are trying to start another war. The other good thing about doing it season by season kind of feel is that you won't feel like you have to introduce everyone all at once. So it'll give you some more time to like work on the background characters, like the supports, and like or even like if you do introduce them, you don't have to say everything about them all at once. Nice. I'm doing it on time. Not bad. Yeah. Like with these guys, I do have an end state for what happens at the end of this storyline, but I might take it further than that. So we'll see how I feel about it when I get to that point. You can always try and do little animations, like do like an animatic. Try because I'm teaching myself how to do that stuff. It's not really that hard. I mean, it's definitely obviously a lot of work, but like improving on it as you improve it, drawing is just as fine as like I wouldn't wait if you really like that stuff, because I wish I had done it earlier. Although like now, oh yeah. Yeah, I would just make sure to use there's I think we talked about like a whole bunch of different places that you could find like reference, like obviously there's I mean, Pinterest is okay, but I would say like there's a lot of good apps for like nice. I think yeah, ArtPose. There's a free version of ArtPose, I think, and then there's the one that's like I think is it? I can't remember how much it costs. Let me see. I don't remember it being that bad though. Like I think it's like $5, and it's like just an app where you can like there's a male and female mannequin, and you can just like move them around, change the angle, and like that way you could get your turnaround kind of like and see like still have the same rough idea of how the proportions should look at different angles. Unless you go through unless you really want to go hardcore and make like statuettes of all your characters, which I would love to do, but that takes so much time and I just do not have it. Like I would love to make like a statue of June so that I could draw her from every angle, but that's just so much work. Like maybe I'll look into Blender and try and teach myself some of that. I mean, she doesn't have the hair color thing yet. It's just good to hear that you're drawing a lot. That's all that really matters. There's also those like mannequins you can get like that are pretty cheap at any art store. I just recommend don't get the one that has the rod in it. I would say get those ones that look more like action figures. Maybe? But those are kind of pricey. I think they're like $35 each or something like that. I know that feeling. Like when I'm working on my comic, I'm like, I'd love to post, but I don't want to post. I didn't want to post just like random pages. Like I might share it on like some Discords, but I didn't want to put it on like Instagram. I'd say just like sometimes I do drawing sessions where I just draw them in like, I'll do like funny poses, or I'll do like yeah, I get that too though. But the one thing I want to like help or try, I know it's hard, but like especially nowadays, people would much rather see how you write your characters than to take them themselves, is what I've noticed. Like, especially on at least with the people who follow me on Instagram, like I've never really felt too worried that someone's gonna take it, because I know that a lot of my followers either are artists themselves, and like some of them are even professionals, so they have no need for my character, or they're just they're like a friend or a family member, and they have no interest in taking them either. But I understand why, like, even outside reason, sometimes it's just hard to like take the leap and put them online. Like these two went through several iterations before I got them to the point where I liked them. I think I did post them anyway, but I didn't really call them. I didn't say they were comic book characters until like until I got them a lot further along. Yeah, well, that's good to hear, because like, I mean. Because in many cases they're doing the same thing too, so like where they're like trying to secretly, or like, or maybe they'll tell you they're trying to like do their own stories too. So because I've had people ask if they can draw my characters, and I like to hear that. As long I always just say like, sure, just make sure to credit me. Other than that, I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, you can always do fun things like dress them up for like holidays, or you could even make up your own holiday. That could be fun too, if you really want to go into the lore that much. But because I thought about that with mine, but I just haven't come up with anything yet. I might just take some of the older holidays and put them back in, like the original version of like Halloween. Like maybe put that in the comic or something. Oh, is it Samhain? I forget how to pronounce it. Yeah, I'd say do more. There's always room for more. Like I do one with I might do one this year for the villain character, like maybe like trying to like be festive or something. Or I was gonna do some of the side characters, like I was gonna do one of Cole and Clay or something, like in some kind of like snowball fight maybe. because it's also fun to kind of like try and imagine like not only what they would like to wear in a comfy setting, but like with Christmas it's fun to try and imagine like what kinds of foods they would like to eat if they didn't, if like they weren't in their current like difficult situation, or at least with mine. Yeah. And like try and like put them in a more like relaxed situation where they can have fun and do, 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 do. Oops. I might do another flashback one as well, where like June's a little kid and her mom's actually home, and like you get to see the whole family together. That could be fun. I might even do a holiday short where I show more of June's capabilities to show why he's not as worried, why he wasn't too worried about bringing her with him. I mean, there's other reasons why he brought her too, but which will be revealed in the story. But like, I mean, just because they live somewhere secluded doesn't mean it's always safe. So, like, he knows that she has dealt with some pretty dangerous situations in their town. Bum, 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 bum. Also, any excuse for me to draw more of that little dinosaur is always... I have my little mascot. Do I I haven't drawn him in a while. Not so little all the time, but like I could do flashbacks for that character too. Because like one of the first times I drew him was, I think, one of Grace's first drawings actually. Where is it? Because the funny thing is that character was more of a was for the other comic, but oh, here it is. Here's one with the two of them. It's like in the background there. You can kind of see it a little bit. Little guy, little baby T-Rex. That's been like mutated from being in the fairy realm a little bit. Like its mom is much more changed, but it's just only a little bit changed. Do, 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 do. It has been fun trying to like come up with some different variations of dinosaurs. I might even do some more of those, like ways that other types of dinosaurs that were spirited away evolved to survive in a world where there's like giant dragons and just really powerful creatures to contend with for food. Be kind of fun to try and come up with like how they change too. Yeah, when you get done with your turnarounds, let me know, and maybe I can do some more fan art for you. That was so much fun. I really like drawing your character for our art fight. Him fighting it, duking it out with my character, with my Geomancer character. That was really fun. Maybe over this short break I have, I'll also try and come up, like, one thing I kind of want to try and do is set up the imprint storefront because I keep meaning to put some of my artwork on there, and it'd be really fun to like put some of the Dinovember stuff, or like some of the other art challenges I did this year. Would be, put some of those up there. I don't know if I would put my characters up there yet, only because the comic's not published yet. So if I can get that up sometime soon, then yeah, I would definitely like to make some posters for the characters, like showing them off, and like giving them like little like one image stories kind of, or like maybe even like just make posters of like standalone comics kind of. That might be kind of fun too. I've seen people do that. This is the the cabin. He has this like cabin he can like summon in this, only in like certain areas. I haven't really worked out the rules for this yet. As far as I'm concerned right now, it's really only here, but I might make it reappear later in the story too. So, kind of like the in Critical Role, they have like dimensional houses in a lot of their campaigns. It's just a way for me to make it so they don't have to like stop at every hotel or something, or like maybe sometimes there are areas where the magic just doesn't work, so maybe they will have to do that, but would be cool if he did have some, if I keep this around, so it was something that he managed to hold on to from his days when he was in the military. Like his childhood home, and it has like a lot of his old like stuff from his family, which is why he wants to show it to June here, because his mother was a bard as well. Like she also liked the electric guitar. What are we doing on? We're doing good. Okay, sorry. See, it looks off here. Maybe it was fine before. Check. Yeah, I think it just has to look kind of dirty, kind of messy, because I mean they were just in a fight, so he's. think one thing that can also be fun, especially when you're doing the turnarounds, is seeing how different fabric reacts to your character's like form. Like I've drawn Richard in both like hiking gear, but also like really dressed up before, and I should make a newer version of that, but it's kind of like how there's I'm sure there's turnarounds for like Bruce Wayne, like wearing like street clothes but also wearing like his best suit, you know. And that could be really fun too, like just seeing them like yeah, it could be fun to see them in just maybe even like in something that they don't like to wear. It might be kind of funny too. Like if they like, for instance, if they don't like getting dressed up, but you put them in like really refined clothes, and then you draw their body language showing that they just like really hate it. Like they're all like, maybe like if I did that, I would probably put like Richard in like one of those like wool wool shirt, like sweaters, and he's just like so itchy. Or maybe June in a really fancy dress, because I don't know if she would like that. She doesn't really like, she's more like into like, she likes nice clothes sometimes, but she doesn't like that kind of stuff. So. Yeah, like I did my ones that were the Halloween ones where they were all in costumes, and that was fun. Like putting putting like Grace in yours in like a your like clothing and from Spy Family. And putting Richard in like the berserk armor. That was pretty fun. And June was dressed up like that. I don't know if you ever see Little Witch Academia from Studio Trigger, but like at the very beginning, there's a witch that like is doing a concert, and honestly, like she's kind of what inspired me to like even make June. So I thought it'd be really fun to make that what June dresses up as. Because I didn't start realizing how fun bards could be as a character until like much later. Because like I did Mighty Nine before I went back and listened to all of the critic original like Vox Machina storyline. So. There's a lot you can do with them. Oh, cool. That's a good idea. Cool. Yeah, I used to go for walks a lot in the woods behind my house, and so that those kind of memories are in my head a lot. And or like sometimes I'll like try and look up new plants too, though. But that's cool. Like building up your mental library. Nice. It's good to have all that on where you can just recall it. I know when I was younger, I was like really intrigued by the concept of like carnivorous plants, so I did a lot of research into that when I was younger. Like my friend had like, I think he had a whole bunch of like encyclopedias on that kind of stuff, and because oh no, I'm showing my age. Yeah. We didn't have the internet back then. Not like now, anyway. I would have loved to have been able to just like be like, oh, I'm going to look up some facts about dinosaurs. Bing, done. Certainly made the Dinovember easier doing that than doing it the old-fashioned way of going to the library and having to do all the research there. Well, like, actually, I made a monster based around when I learned more about a specific, kind of tree called the sandbox tree. Like, I made this entire, like, kaiju. I think I've shown you this before, but, like, it's one that I really like. It's an older drawing I did. If I can find it. It does, oh, here it is. Yeah, this guy, based around a sandbox tree, and a lesson, but I just made it really big. Man, my art was very rough back then. It's always good when you look back at your old stuff and you're like, oh, okay, I am getting better. It's like even when I draw rough now, I'm not drawing like that. That's much more painterly. But that'll definitely make your story more interesting when you add variety like that to it. So yeah, go for it. I remember that's something I used to love about in like Last Airbender was all the just all the wildlife and everything that they really put a lot of thought into, like the world itself. Another thing I'd like to do is maybe this weekend I'll do that too. Is look into like older architecture for like the town in the next part of my story, because like just more ancient or just even older architecture is just so much more interesting than modern. Like there's just so much character to it. It feels like it could last forever. It just feels like it has more presence in its environment, whereas like, I mean, sure, nowadays it's more functional, but it doesn't really matter if it compared to like how cool the old stuff looked. Like I would love to like, yeah, just like look, try and make the town look like it's a very old town, and kind of like kind of like look up like architecture in like Boston or something, and somewhere like that where it's like older buildings, or like even like some English towns. Thank you. It's fun to be back working on this after it feels like, I mean, after a whole month, it's nice to get back to just drawing this. Maybe I'll make it so she has like a bag or something she puts it in. Or even like a partial bag kind of thing. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just trying to. I figured the more I put time I put into the line work, then the less I have to worry about it while I'm coloring. So that's why I'm just gonna but that's why tonight I'm just kind of focusing mainly on that. I figure I can, because there's so many times I've struggled and like tried to like clean up the line work while coloring, and it's a pain. So I'm like, let's just make it look nice first. Then I can just zip through the color. Yeah, like, I'll show you. I'm gonna save this first so I don't lose it, and I'll show you a page I'm really proud of. I mean, there's a couple. Like this is coming along pretty good. Like I think this one came out really good. I like this one, where they're leaving the diner where he was trying to get some information, and then like they fall into this trap where they're pulled into the fight with the bounty hunter. And I think the colors just came out really good there. Yes, definitely. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll even just like be like, I'm gonna draw this in like from a whole bunch of different angles, and like try to like play around with different styles until I get it the way I want it. Nice. Cool. That's always adds some cool context to the story too, yeah. And it's like, it's not the first time, and yeah. Yeah, because right now in the story, June's scared, but only because, like I said, she kind of is realizing that just how dangerous this could be. Like she was so worried about her mother that she really didn't think about everything else that they're going to run into. But that's why her dad's just like, let's just take a breather for a second. We're not going to make any more time today, so let's do some training, and that way you'll be ready for next time. Yeah. One thing I definitely recommend, and I've seen some of your designs, and you definitely follow this too, is don't go overboard with small details on main characters, because you're gonna have to draw them a lot. So just make sure not to like, if you want to do like a scene in the story where they're like wearing like something more ornate or something, that's fine, but I would recommend treating it like you're going to be animating them, where it's like you just don't want to have to draw those details every time, because like even with what I have with Richard, sometimes like I have to make sure that the mustache is always the same to a degree. And I love the mustache. It can be a little frustrating when I realize I've drawn it too small in a panel though. Like, not again. And I try and keep with his body, I kind of try and just like base him around like the Bruce Timm style of drawing, where you just kind of, I'll just use this new page, where I just draw his chest is essentially this, like his entire middle torso is a wedge shape, and his legs kind of come off that. So he's a big dude, but he's not like a giant dude. He's kind of just stocky kind of build, like that. Yeah. That way I can draw him fast. Is just mentally knowing that he's got kind of that kind of build. And with her, it's, yeah, drawing it, making sure she's more petite kind of build. She's shorter than her daughter, so yeah. I think I got all of this done pretty much. I just need to... In fact, maybe I'll just work on some more pages. Yeah, definitely. I definitely can sympathize with that. Like, well, like the villain, I think the other reason I mentally knew that he's not going to be a big part of the story is, I mean, he's not super complex, but he's kind of lanky and very like amorphous. So consistency with a character like that is kind of hard. He's kind of like just like the boogeyman, and essentially I pretty much just made it like, because he's so amorphous, like there is no wrong way, like wrong proportion, as long as it looks creepy. Honestly, the hardest one for me is definitely the dragon girl, because she's like, I mean, she's got much more details in her, and she's like I would never change her though. I like drawing her too much. Let me see if I can find a good picture of her. But where are my character sheets? Oh, here they are. Thought I had her in here. Weird. I've ever thought her. Anyway, she's. Oh, well, that's an older one of her. But I can show that, I think. Yeah. Yeah, see, she's like, even like this quick drawing of her isn't really true to her. Like, she looks more like this. So I'm trying to. And even amongst those, like her face, I still need to work on drawing such a long snout on a character all the time, and like how, and I need just to decide how she's gonna like carry herself, kind of. I think that comes down to, well, I mean, it depends. That can come down to like the kind of persona you're trying to like represent with the character, because like sometimes you'll have your character that's like, well, for instance, with me with like Cole, he's a much more rigid and quiet person, so I made sure to give him sharp edges, and like he's got like high cheekbones. Oh no. That's annoying. But I've had that happen with devices too, where I'll be just listening to like a podcast or something. I look down and my phone's about to die, and I'm just like, oh, thank you, phone. Thank you for telling me with 1 bar left and like maybe like 20 seconds before you die that you need charging. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I got these new ones that only warn me like right, like maybe like a minute before they go. Because I did have older ones that like would definitely take their time and give me little reminders, and I'm like, I don't need you telling me every 5 minutes. But yeah, there's definitely certain like language and shapes that like I know Pixar used to have like a really good description of how they did that, but I don't know where that went online. But like they had this thing that like explained like why they make certain choices when they're designing characters, and like because like I looked at like the artwork for Up, and like I think they showed like why they made the characters the shapes they were in that. Like the old man is kind of like just a rectangle, and the boy is kind of is like a blob, is more of a soft blob shape. Same thing with like if you go back to old Disney, like Aladdin, like the characters have very specific shapes for each of them. Now, not so much. I kind of miss that. Now all the princesses have the same shape, kind of. I miss when they were like, oh no, this is what Ariel looks like this, and Jasmine looks like this. Very different. Oops. Gonna clean up some of the line work for this one too. This is the weird one. One thing I've kind of looked at for Richard and June for their relationship is Ciri and Geralt, kind of, because I want them to be close, but like I don't want her to just like ignore everything he says or anything like that, because that's kind of overdone. I want them to have a good relationship, but I do want them to have conflict as well, so it's kind of tricky. Have you run into that with your story? Like writing trying to figure out like how the characters talk to each other and all that, and because there's always the concern I have of like they all sound similar, but I've gotten better at that, but like still like just like worrying that like they don't really sound like their arguments are really legit is still something I worry about at times. So like I'll overthink like a conversation sometimes. I'll go over it like 5 times and look it over and be like, does this look like something that you would walk by on the street hearing 2 people talking about, kind of. Because this is more of a modern fantasy, so I don't want them. I don't mind if like there's definitely gonna be parts where like they're shared, where some of the world lore is gonna be dropped, but I don't want it to become like these huge explanations of things every time. So I like your colors though. I had fun creating her. I think that's the other thing with the character design. Make sure that like you find something fun with each character, because again, you're going to be drawing them a lot if they're main characters. So finding like specific small things in either in their outfit or in like their like expressions that makes each of them fun for different reasons really help me. Like, I just really like drawing June's hair. And her outfit's pretty cool. I like the, she's got this cool, like, coat, and got a nice color to it. Oh, cool. I like that, because I used to be worried that, like, giving people, like, straightforward things was bad, but then you can take the straightforwardness of it and then, like, build upon it. Like, it's only a problem when nothing's ever built on it, but it can really help when they present themselves a specific way, so that the minute they start talking, you're like, oh, that person's, even if they're not on the panel, you're like, oh, I know who's talking. Like, for me, I think what I need to work on is, like, the some of the support characters, like Nyla, the dragon girl. Like, she doesn't quite. I mean, she kind of has a voice. Her voice is kind of like she's a fangirl for, like, everything that for anything to do with, like, Earth. Like, she thinks squirrels are awesome, like we think dragons are awesome. Kind of is how she works. Which is why she works great with Grace, because, like, they both love animals. And since they both grew up hearing about dinosaurs, they both are really excited when they realize they are on the trail of one, which is what makes their story fun. But yeah, I just never want to make, like, Richard too much of, like, a pit. Like, I don't want him to be, like, boring, like, just, boring, dull, like, no fun dad kind of character. I want him to have, like, feel like someone who's got a background in, like, acts a specific way, because plus, I mean, June's older, so I don't have to. That's one nice thing about making her older, is it's like I don't have to worry about too much about that, because, like, he's got confidence in that she can handle. That he trusts her a lot. There's certainly times he worries still, but he definitely trusts her. Well, I'm trying to avoid those situations. I mean, I understand why some writers use them, but, like, the whole, like, I can explain, but then the character doesn't explain because the other person walks away. I'm trying to, like, keep those to a minimum. Because, like, yeah, just say what you need to say. I mean, it helps that this isn't a straightforward comedy, and comedy uses that trope a lot. The I can explain. It's like, okay, I'm waiting. Like, I might make that a joke or something, where, like, there is a time when they say that and he's just, like, standing there like, go ahead. It's like, yeah. Sure. And I didn't plan on a romantic story in mind, but I might kind of put the seeds for one. Like I might introduce a character that in a later story might be like an interest for her. Because I was gonna have like maybe us like one of the city guards helps her out, and then maybe in a later story they become closer. But I figured that'd be a more fun way to make it so that it's a slow romance instead of just rushing into it. Because I mean, right now that would make no sense in this story. Like, they're in a extreme rush. There would be no time for anything like that. I mean, unless he went with them or something, but that doesn't make sense either because he's a guard. He's paid to stay there. And that would have to be one heck of a meeting for him to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to just quit my job today. It's like, no, don't. Maybe that'd be something funny to put in the comic where she's just like, no, don't. I'll come back. Don't worry. It's like, chill out, dude. You're right. That's funny. Well, it's kind of like with me with June, where I'm like, "You're an awesome musician. Be more confident." And then I look at my own art, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's why I wrote her this way." It's like she's similar, like confidence issues. But I do like those characters too that are really quiet, and those can be really fun to write. I don't know if I have any in this one, but I do have a side character kind of that is a little bit like that, where she's kind of like in her head all the time. She kind of talks like she thinks she's like a film noir character, kind of. Like she's narrating things in her head, kind of. And she's like this like magical kickboxer. Like so she acts like a superhero sometimes. Which gets her in trouble. In the old comic, I had her introduced as she accidentally broke a window to a restaurant, and that's like by throwing someone through it. Like the first time you see her, she's just like, "Hi, Cole. It happened again. Can you pay for it this time?" And he's like, "Oh God, not again." And Cole definitely has his personality traits where he's like very, even though he's very quiet, he's very like passionate about what he does. So once you get him talking about like ancient creatures and like, or like yeah, or like or magic in general, it gets hard to get a word in. That's where he gets excited, like that's where he lights up and just all of a sudden just becomes like very vocal. Oh, rats. Oh well. Sometimes with Richard, what I'll do is I'll be like, what would Liam Neeson's character from Taken do if he like was put into like a fantasy setting, and that's pretty much how I write him sometimes. I'm just like, he's like, okay, nature, I'm coming for you. And June's a little loose. Other than the confidence thing, June's a little bit more open-ended, which kind of makes it more fun because then I can really go anywhere I want with her. This shot was hard. Yeah, doing this shot here, it took me a couple tries to even get this. So even though it's not perfect, I'm still pretty happy that I even could do this. Because, like, that's a hard perspective where it's like the bird's eye, like looking down while all this craziness is happening around them. Wait, why is this? Weird. I think Grace is one of the ones I'm having a little bit more trouble with, but I think just making her very like enthusiastic about nature is kind of where I'm going with her for the moment, and I might introduce more about her as the story goes along, like, hello! Glad you can make it. I'm working on the comic tonight. I thought I would just like clean up some pages, and I was doing some work on just like some of the character sheets and some of the, or just like Oh yeah, and I'm not doing this today, but I was earlier doing some emotes for my Twitch channel. So, here's what I was doing. Yeah, here's the me just like doing some quick drawings of the characters and kind of putting them in different clothing. Yeah, no, I'm doing okay. I actually got a week off work, so this is kind of been. I saved up for it because at the end of the year I like to burn away some hours. So. But it's been fun working on the comic today. Like I did a lot of Dinovember was great. Like drawing animals every day was so much fun. Like some of these guys came out so cool. Like and learning about them and just like explaining all these creatures was really fun too. And like getting to just play around and try and draw some oh, thanks. Yeah, it's been really fun working on all this stuff. Oops, I'm on the right layer. Weird. But yeah, mainly just trying to like catch up on the comic and just trying to clean up some of these pages so that hopefully I can get maybe a comment, maybe set up a website over this week off. Like that. Oh, the VTubers, coming along slowly. I didn't get a chance. I'm going to definitely, even more than the comic, I want to make some major progress on that this week. Like, I really want to get it to the point where, like, it's 100% functional, and all I need to, so that I can just like build upon it. Like basically, I need to my to-do list is first of all set up the arms with animations so that I can like the right arm I need to set that one up, and the left arm I'm just gonna have like a very basic animation for it, and maybe like maybe eventually I'll plan to do different states for that arm, but like to start off I'm just gonna make it like one or two things that like maybe just one thing it does at first and then add on to it later. And the wings I want to make them flap, so those are the two big things I want to do. Have flapping wings when I'm excited, and I want everything to like react to the mood. So, and I've seen some good tutorials on that, so I'm gonna look into those. Because there's some really good ones, but my favorites are the ones where people don't talk at all, because then I can just do it step by step and not feel distracted. I mean, I still use those other ones where they talk, but it's nice having the ones where they're just like showing you like step by step as you're going through it. Yeah, exactly. That is one thing I was thinking, like kind of like an animation where it kind of just like kind of lightly tosses it in the air and it floats back down. Said, I forget what I was gonna. Like, I think it's yeah, that would definitely be something I would try out. And I was going to make it maybe so that maybe it has another state where it kind of like hides behind him at times or something, or I don't know. Maybe different prompts do different things for the little fire guy. And I was going to make it. I have another spirit that it was going to be water based. Yeah, like maybe he gets mad and he's just like. Well, for mad, what I was going to do was I was going to make it so he kind of grabs hold of him with the hand, and like the lightning, like the energy from the two kind of like react. Like it starts to get like bigger and more like it. The flames change color and become brighter, and then like, but this is like an animation for later. At first maybe it would be more like just a speed thing, like changing the speed he does it, because later on it would be kind of fun to make it so that it's like it's reacting to his magic and his mood, kind of like Korra in the spirit world. Like it'll like if he gets too agitated, it starts to change into a more dangerous version of itself. Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. I did want to do something like that too. Have like a second state for my character where his eyes, where maybe his arm, like the crystals start lighting up or something, or the wings maybe become more like physical instead of being more ethereal. And the tail might move around faster. Because right now you can barely see my tail in this form, but I got a tail with a little spike on it. And with the VTuber, I might get rid of the. I'm gonna make the tablet's gonna just float, like it's just magic. It just floats in front of him. Right? Yeah, it's got a little. I just there's a couple characters it's inspired off of, like kind of like Miyazaki has in Nausicaa. There's a couple guys that have crazy mustache. Yeah, they. And then there's also like yeah, he's got these two little like things here that go bink bink like that. Kind of like give it a little bit more than just, and it helps add to the shape a little bit, I think. Oh yeah, I have a tail. Oh, oh, no problem. That's great to hear that you're making some progress. Yeah, I have a. Here, I'll show you my I can't show you that, but I will show you. I do have character art. So here's something I'm working on right now. See? I got a big tail. It's got like this. It's got like these plates that go down it, and then it kind of like, it's a big bulky one. And I made the little fire spirit bigger in this one. It's kind of cool when the way I did this energy blast that he's doing is I downloaded a bunch of like of effects from Clip Studio Paint, and then I just traced over them. Honestly, because I'm like, I like how they look, but I don't like that. I didn't want to just use them, so I kind of like just went over them with my brush stroke so that it would still look like my work. But yeah, that's me standing up, kind of. It's like that. Right? I'm just like, this is an older one, and I almost made the wings like this on the VTuber, but then I changed them to be a lot more. I like the Lorex. Yeah, I like this like little. I like the little fire spirit. I was gonna add even more like different elements. Like I was gonna make a water spirit one that kind of appears sometimes when he's thirsty and like blasts him, like a super. It's like it's one of those Undine spirits. Like I don't know if you've ever seen Delicious in Dungeon, but it's basically I was gonna make one of the spirits like that. Something's wrong with the head there. I don't like. I'll have to fix that later. The head proportions are wrong. Because, see, this is closer to what they're supposed to be. It's like this. But I also, I think I should. I don't know if you saw that. I was, I am working on some emotes, too, for the character. Because, like I got this. I'll show you the. It's still pretty rough, and I need to add in some more frames. But like, see, It's like him. This is like my focus emote, or like quietly working. Yeah. Yeah, wee. It's all work on this page. I do have a lot of work to do on this one, so. Do. Clean them up. I try. I'm not very good at it. I'll be honest. That's one of the things I'm like. I'll show you. I have a page of the comic to show you how I draw cars. It's very rough. Where did it go? Point is, no, I don't draw them well. I'm more of drawing like organic things, like animals and people. Drawing cars is like, for some reason, it's just very difficult. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here's the page that I had with the car. And even this, I needed like so much reference to draw that car. I still need to clean it up a little bit. I mean, I need to clean this whole page up a lot, but mainly, I mean, that still, I think it looks pretty good, even though it really is just the line work needs to be clean, and like I need to add in some smear. I need to like blend the colors better, but like I want to give him like a pickup truck. Because in the town that he's hiding in, he's a landscaper, so I figure that would be a good car for a landscaper. Now, like, the trick is trying to make sure that, like, the minute he got the car, I had to find a way to, like, get rid of the car. I'm like, what? It's like, this would be too easy if he just had the car. I had to find an excuse for why he doesn't have the car. And here's the excuse right here. They get summoned away from the car. So that's why they're not in the car through the rest of the story. Is it's like possibly hundreds of miles away. Thanks. He's definitely interesting. I did like the fact that I watched a little bit of I need to watch the newer Young Justice, because they do a lot with his character in the later arcs, apparently. But yeah, definitely want to check that out eventually. do. But yeah, this was fun. This part of the story was really fun to make, because like it it was a way to show off like how power, because you got to see Richard fight earlier in the story and see how strong he is against like just monsters, but this is more like seeing how he reacts to a really dangerous situation and like how he can adapt on the fly. And it also shows that like June may not be like she feels that she's not ready, but even he realizes he's very rusty. Like he realizes very quick that like he's been out of fighting, like he hasn't fought anyone in a long time because he's retired like years ago, and he realizes that they both need training, or that at least they both need a refresher course is a better way to say, because they don't have time for training, but he definitely needs to like take some time with her and figure out how they can coordinate better and communicate. Because that fight should not. Yeah, that's not going to leave some deep scars. Well, because I think in the there's like an entire arc in the later part of Young Justice where he gets like hooked on like Adderall or something like that. I forget. There was like some kind of like crazy, like I think it was Adderall, but I forget. It was definitely some kind of like something to keep him awake. And but it wasn't like wasn't they couldn't go too severe. Obviously, they couldn't be like, oh, it's. Well, I can't even say it because the YouTube will like punish me if I say some of those words. I'll get thrown in the Phantom Zone. It works out anyway. I don't usually talk about that kind of stuff anyway, so it's pretty rare for it to come up. Oops. And you can see, I love in this last panel, I kind of like foreshadowed the bad guy. Like there's the, you can see the werewolf in the background. Girl power. Yeah, I guess. I mean, sure. See, I don't know. I have issues with that Starfire. And not because of, I don't know, just because like she doesn't feel as much like an alien as they present her in the other in like other shows. From what I saw, maybe it's different, and maybe if I saw more, it would be, maybe they explain better later. But it just felt like they kind of like rushed through her character a little bit. I think that's kind of what, I mean, all that kind of scared me away from it to begin with, because I saw like previews of that show, and it just seemed like they were trying to just be an edgier version of like what was already happening. And I mean, the story's already pretty edgy, so I'm like, I really don't need it more edgy, guys. I mean, you have like Superboy is pretty much just like living sludge. Like, you don't need to make these characters more. Which of the live action, honestly, I've seen previews. I haven't seen the show. But like I've seen enough previews to be like, hey, this looks like they're just kind of like trying to be darker, and that's fine if that's what some people like. But I like a little bit of hope. It's like how I don't like that some people are like, we'll see like the more modern like Snyder version of Batman and be like, that's more realistic though. I'm like, I don't want realism in my Batman. His life is terrible. I don't want to see a real version of that. That's probably like a guy scarier than Joker. Yeah. To be fair, she was pick me with Robin, and he was popular, so it wasn't like she was just like randomly choosing some dude off the street. She was picking like Batman's protege. So, and Batman is pretty much like written as like one of the smartest people in the Justice League, so yeah. Well, I want Batman solving. My favorite thing about Batman is when he solves crimes and like uses logic. Like him, like just like them going into a full story on like him, like the Justice League is off like doing the fighting, and meanwhile he's like investigating. Well, like for instance, in the Superman Apocalypse one, where Supergirl gets captured, Batman just goes and finds the codes to blow up the planet. It's like, dude, how did you get that? Like, and also, Darkseid, maybe hide those better. Because, I mean, sure, he's a good detective, but like that should be really hard to find out if it's that big of a deal. Then again, not many people would choose to be on his planet, so I bet he didn't really feel that worried. It's like the last place any living being would ever want to be, so. The fact that Batman's like, I've been worse places. I think as far as like live action goes with any of them, it's like I would love to see more of Constantine, because he did show up in that other show with the time travelers, and he was really popular on there. So it would be really fun to see like his show come back, because I actually really liked his show. It was kind of like Supernatural. I think I kind of get it, though. I think people don't like Damien because sometimes he's written as too perfect. That's the only, at least that's what I saw in some of the stories. And I mean, I like him when he's on the Teen Titans because, like, they really push out the fact of how weird he is. that they really, in a better way than showing him next to Bruce, because Bruce is also weird, but for different reasons. Whereas, like, you're putting him next to, like, Beast Boy or, like, one of the, or, like, Blue Beetle, who's also, like, has something in his head that's talking to him that sounds a lot like Damien. And I thought that worked really well. I'll be right back. Right now, I'm just slowly going through Mighty Nine as they release episodes, because I was a huge fan of that show. I just watched this one video where it's like called, I think it's just called like Matt Mercer misspeaks or something like that, and it's just funny how like every time he like said something with accidental innuendo in it, like they would just like fall apart laughing, and like just the session would just come to a grinding halt. It was pretty funny. If you're of the Batman stories, one I would recommend is Long Halloween, which was made into an animated movie, but the comic is really good too. Like, it's probably one of my favorite Batman comics. Oh, yeah. I know because of Starfire's culture, she doesn't see relationships the same way humans do. So maybe it was her that he. I don't know. I'm I, I'm probably a good soundboard because I haven't read this, so I'm just guessing for you. Like I have no idea. I'll see. Yeah, that's the opposite problem I have with, like, my niece loves to. We'll be watching an anime at the same time, and she's like, "By the way, I'm also reading the manga, and this happens, and this happens." I'm like, "Don't tell me!" And she just laughs. She's like, "Haha!" Like, yeah, yo, I know you like to tell that you're very excited, and that's great, but please, a little bit of surprise is great too. But I don't mind. honestly, most of those shows I kind of predict what's going to happen anyway, and then she just kind of points it out and goes, "Yep, you're right." It's like this happened and this happened, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like My Hero Academia, she gave away a lot of that for me, which I'm fine because it's a shonen. Like, I've watched enough shonen to know where they're heading, so it wasn't the worst thing. I mean, honestly, at least she wants to talk about that, so. She's the one I like to talk about animation with a lot. Which one? The one you're talking about, or My Hero? Because My Hero, I mean, it has that one main story, and it kind of like it talks a lot about certain issues. So when you realize where it's heading, it's not a surprise. I would never spoil it for anyone anyway, but it definitely is heading in a very clear direction. I mean, the whole reason behind the villains being around even is part of where it needs to head. So it's not a huge surprise. Yeah. Yeah, no. But there's still some surprises, and of course YouTube's spoiled a lot for me, so be careful when you're on YouTube. If you put that in your interests, they will give you a lot of spoilers you did not ask for. That's why I don't really... I think that's the main reason I don't mind about my niece talking about it, because YouTube is far worse. At least hers are more vague. YouTube's like, you'll never guess what happened here. Thanks. Yeah, it's been fun to draw that. He's got this like really like regal kind of long nose. I like to give people like really like exaggerated traits. It's fun. That and with him, exaggerated weapons are fun too. Oh, nice! That's great to hear. Like this mace, like I've had people be like, "What is that? The Mulan ball mace?" I'm like, I'm kind of inspired by it, yeah. I wanted to make a mace that looked scary, and that is a scary mace. So I'm sure it was in the back of my head. Need to fix these hands though. The one thing I like that YouTube did for me though is they explained why a character from that side story, my what is it, the vigilante storyline. They explain what happened with him, so I don't have to go through everything and look it all up. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. It's like, but stop showing me images from the manga. Because it keeps showing me images from the manga, and I'm like, I know why are you rooting this? Oh, that might be fun sometime. Yeah, yeah, and like over her breaks, maybe I could try and find some time to do that. Right. It it happens every full moon. It's like, or blue moon in their case, really. It's like once in a grand while it does something right. Especially because I mean, I don't know if you watched any of it, but it's on my list. I just haven't had time to watch it. Which is kind of funny to say because I think I've rewatched a couple anime a few times. So it's kind of like I haven't had time to watch it. But meanwhile, I'm gonna go rewatch Frieren for the like 12th time because I know it so well that I can just put it on in the background and then just draw. So, or like Delicious in Dungeon, I'll just put that on in the background and be like, okay, this is something nice to just listen to while I draw. EST. I'm on the East Coast. Oh, well, I appreciate you making some time, though. Thank you. Yeah, and I know I dealt with that when I was back when I would draw on Instagram because my friend lived in California and like it was just like it was really awkward trying to like find time between the two of us. It's like, yeah, maybe we can draw this week. Sure, yeah, sure. Oops. And I've also had like weather get in the way of some of our streams because of, well, I mean, was in California where a lot of fire, lots of fire. You'd be like, oh yeah, I can kind of see the silhouette of the forest fires. I'm like, what do you mean? Meanwhile, I look out my window and like there's just like icicles going sideways, and I'm like, yeah, it's another snowstorm. Well, whatever. It's like, eh, you've seen one, you've seen a million. That's why whenever my friends are that clearly live in other places are like, oh boy, snow, that must be fun. I'm like, not on a daily basis. Maybe the fluffy stuff is nice, but I don't deal with the fluffy stuff very often. I deal with it's like negative 5 degrees outside. Because today it was in the negatives. mean, it's really hard to say because, like, art in general, like, especially for college, I feel conflicted telling anyone to go for that unless you have a very good, like, scholarship. Because, I mean, even back when I went, I had a scholarship, and I might have reconsidered it if I didn't. Because, like, there's no guarantees in art. Tech, there is. So I'd almost say if you want something that's more guaranteed, tech might be a better path to start with, and then just be like a hobbyist artist while you're doing tech is what I would recommend. Because tech probably pays really good. I mean, the whole reason, like, even when I did art, I was majoring in graphic design because at the time, that was the. I mean, that still is one of the higher paying jobs out there in the creative field. Because you're dealing with, like, you can get clients that are, like, commercial, and they'll pay rights for whatever you make, and that those will be much more expensive. Because, like, animation is great, but it's a lot of work, and a lot of people don't want to pay you money. Like, I've listened to several YouTubers, I mean, YouTube people, and like, do podcasts where they're talking about, like, their freelance nightmare stories, and a lot of people think that apparently that animation, much like any art, is fun, so you shouldn't get paid for it. And it's like, no, the software's expensive. It's like, you're paying. Right? That'd be perfect. Catching, yeah. Well, at least it's a Friday. I don't know if you have to work Saturdays, but I typically do longer ones on Fridays just because I don't work tomorrow. So yeah, I don't. Although I've surprised myself. There's been times where, like, it'll be a Wednesday and I'm just, like, in a groove and I just draw for, like, 3 to 4 hours sometimes, and I'm just like, where did that come from? But New York's nice, I think. I mean, we have some really nice parks here. I mean, I don't know. I won't ask you to dox yourself, but, like, they're all over the state. So wherever you're heading, I hope it is some nice sights. The only thing I don't. That's one thing I don't like is. I mean, I like how snow looks, but it's just like driving in it is not fun. Especially because like people kind of forget how to drive every year when it comes to winter. So hasn't been. I guess this year hasn't been too bad though, so I can't complain too much. I've definitely had worse. I've had times where it's just like, guys, come on, why are you going 80? You can only see 3 feet in front of your car. Why are you driving so fast? But I guess my question back to the education would be, what's your favorite type of art? Because there's so many places online to get education for insanely less than any university. Like there's like Chris Oatley has a class that's really good for Viz Dev, which is like being part of the creative team that sets up like the art for a movie. No, it was great. Yeah, I'm always I usually stream at like 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it varies on how long I stream. But like today was just a nice. Yeah, there's a lot of places for that. I would say like look where you can on like Mark. What was that? There's a couple of really good. I'm trying to think. Anyway, it's pretty easy to find people that are really good at. Oh, nice! That is something that not a lot of people like. So, getting into that and liking that is definitely useful to have that preference. Yeah, like Jazza, he's really good. There's a whole bunch of people like that. So, like even Drawfee, I was really into their channel because like they do like watching them work on like such a like tight schedule is taught me to draw. Have a good night. Yeah. Hope you can drop by again. We'll draw for a little bit longer because this is making some good progress. I'm just looking for something really quick. Excuse me, sorry. This one definitely could use some cleanup, so maybe I'll start on this. Dun, 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 dun. One thing I would like to look into for this comic is trying to use Blender to save time on some parts of the production. But the tricky part is usually it's used when you want to like create like a room or something that's going to be reused. So I need to figure out a way to like, I guess maybe like I could make the inside of the cabin something where I could just keep as a file, because like I said, maybe near as the story goes on, they might continue to go back there, just so I have something that they can have as a consistent throughout the story at times. Kind of funny to just thinking about my niece wanting draw. I mean, her talking along with me while I would draw. That would be fun. I don't know how we'd find time for it though. But me. Get a little bit wider actually. Or I mean, like, fix the perspective a little. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. That's a little better. Giving it a little bit stronger. Yeah, it was. I wanted to try and clean up the car a little bit. His pickup truck. Yeah, because I felt that the line work was on this page is very rough, so I wanted to just make it stand out a little bit more. But like I said, this car's going to disappear pretty quick, so it's not going to be a part of the story, really. Unless later on he figures out a way to maybe summon it or something. There might be like a spell he learns that like can bring it to them or something, so they can make a quick escape at the end of the story. This page was also, I wanted to put this in to explain how she suddenly knows a lot about the outside world. Is that while they're driving to the first location, she's like, she's done this before too, but like she's like looking through her mother's notes on like nature and on how the world, how like, and like so she's also looking at some of her dad's notes about like the history of the world, so that she can kind of understand things better. Like just like a crash course, like trying to remember everything, and that way, like later on when she does run into things, I can have her be like, "Oh right, this is why this happens," and I won't need someone to be like, "By the way, this happens because blah blah blah." And she's like, "Yeah, I know." It's like you don't need to give me exposition. I know. Like I said, she doesn't have much time to like sit around and just listen to people explain history. So, I need to clean up a lot of these pages. You know, these panels. This one's I kind of like this panel. It's still very rough, but like it just needs better line work. That's all. Like I like her expression. Yeah, see that already looks better. Just giving her a better line work really fixes her character nice. So that's what I'll probably do this week, is just go through all this and clean up this line work and then try and put it online. What do we call it here, actually? I'm starting to fade a little bit, and this is a good place to... Make this my thumbnail. It's a good page. I'll clean up this page a little bit more. And yeah, thanks for good luck, Ninja, with your turnarounds. I'm really excited to hear how that goes, and I hope you have a great weekend. And yeah, I'll have to check out your art later and see how all that came out. So I'm real excited to see